We have two pitchers that changed our minds this spring, plus sleeper hitters and pitchers for week one. Let's talk about it next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5, a podcast that gets you caught up fast on the fantasy news and advice that you need to know. Follow and stream us on Spotify and anywhere else podcasts are found. Today is Wednesday, March 31st. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Scott White, and two pitchers in particular changed, at least one changed my mind for sure. I don't know for where you were at on Casey Mize, Scott, but I was a little bit down on him, got off to a slow start, but throwing harder this spring, and the strikeouts really came along throughout spring training, and same thing with Dylan Cease. Final spring start, 11 strikeouts for Cease to 0 walks. So Mize and Cease, what have you seen from those two this spring?
Yeah, they basically, I came around to them both today with their final spring start. It was a couple good ones in a row for Casey Mize, and it sounds like AJ Hinch, the Tigers' new manager, an idea he's been hammering home with those young Tigers pitchers is that pitching is about, it's a race to strike two. It's about getting ahead of the count, pounding the zone with your stuff. Somebody with Casey Mize's stuff, especially, that's a message he needed to hear. And it seems like it's starting to have an effect here toward the end of spring training. His control has been a lot better and he's been overpowering. So Casey Mize, suddenly I'm interested in him. And then Dylan Cease, 11 strikeouts to no walks in 5 1/3 innings. I think, his swinging strike total was huge. I think it was near 20, right around there. And that's what's been lacking from Cease so far in his major league career. Not enough strikeouts and not enough swinging strikes. The White Sox made a change at pitching coach this offseason, getting rid of Don Cooper, finally bringing in Ethan Katz, who was a former high school pitching coach for Lucas Giolito and is credited for getting Lucas Giolito's career on track. And he seems to be having an effect on the whole White Sox pitching staff, getting them to make better use of their lower body, getting more spin on their fastball out of it. Carlos Rodon, he's shown some of that this spring, and Cease has as well. Cease has always had that great velocity, but the fastball hasn't been as effective as it could be because it wasn't getting that high spin rate that makes for the rising effect that makes it a swing and miss pitch. Seems like he's made big strides with that this spring under the tutelage of Ethan Katz.
Yeah, both Dylan Cease and Casey Mize are rostered in 55% or less of CBS leagues. Very interested in both of those gentlemen. Both have quite a bit of prospect pedigree as well. All right, opening day is right around the corner, Scott. So who are some sleeper hitters that you're looking at for this upcoming weekend?
So really, every team is facing one other team this weekend, and we know who the bad pitching staffs are. One of them is Baltimore, the Orioles, and they have two lefties coming up in the 3-game series against the Red Sox, which works to the benefit of a couple right-hand hitters, Bobby Dahlbeck, who hit 7 home runs in spring training, and Hunter Renfroe, who has huge power as well. Both of them have better numbers against lefties than righties in their career, and could tee off against the 3 pitchers the Orioles are running out there this week. The Rockies get 4 games at home. Now, granted, it's against the Dodgers pitching staff, but Coors Field is a tough place to pitch no matter who you are. So I'm hoping CJ Cron, especially, who's had a huge spring, high exit velocity readings, big numbers. We're all excited about him getting to play at Coors Field this year. I'm hoping he's a good sleeper. I like Jock Peterson going against the Pirates. He had an 8-homer spring, and we know he has the ability to do a lot of damage. So those are some of my sleeper hitters for this week.
Yeah, on the other side of CJ Cron, I do like a few Dodgers in Gavin Lux and AJ Pollock. Of course, any hitters that are traveling to Coors Field going up against that Rockies pitching staff, I think are always in play. And Gavin Lux recently hit his first home run of the spring. AJ Pollock, you know what you're going to get at this point. He's a solid veteran, but again, he's hitting in one of the best lineups in baseball with the Los Angeles Dodgers. How about on the pitching side of things, Scott? Some of your favorite sleeper pitchers for this upcoming weekend?
Yeah, so all the Royals, 3 Royals are going this weekend against the Rangers, who are one of the worst teams in baseball. Brady Singer, Brad Keller, and Mike Minor. I think they'll all be on the fringes all year long. So when they have good matchups, we'll see them appear on this list pretty often. Of the 3, my favorite is Singer. Zach Davies, though, is, he's rostered in more leagues, but maybe not an automatic start. And I'm not even saying he's an automatic start or any of these pitchers are automatic starts. But if you need a spot filled. Zach Davies going against the Pirates, probably the worst team in baseball. A guy who, good innings eater and good at limiting damage. Zach Davies is someone you should give a look to. Also like Logan Webb at Seattle.
I will point out Jake Arrieta as well. Similarly to Zach Davies, he's not the most exciting starting pitcher, but going up against the Pirates over the weekend. And Mike Minor, I will point out, it's a revenge game going up against the Texas Rangers. So if you're about that kind of thing, Mike Minor might be the stream for you. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. This is your audio outlet for fantasy news and advice in just 5 minutes. If you enjoyed the pod, please leave a 5-star review on Apple. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.